So welcome back to Sorare Wakey Academy. And today we're looking at the under-23s that are in the English Premier League, which obviously has just been released. And now these are not going to be the best under-23s. As you've seen with my previous videos, it's not the best guys at under-23 because they just cost too much. But this is like the best value players that you can get. Some of them will be high priced still, as there may only be like, say, goalkeepers. There might only be a couple of goalkeepers that are actually playing that are really high priced. But we'll try and look for some that are either on the verge of getting into teams or are getting game time but not enough just yet. They're going to be players that I'm actually scouting to see who we can get on this list for the English Premier League. Now, those of you that are following on Twitter and following my account, of course, will notice I've had a lot of Liverpool players and Celtic players lately, which is me just adjusting to the way Sorare are doing things at the moment with the cap leagues and things. I just wanted to make sure I had a chance in that side. You'll see my Liverpool team there, which I sort of wish I hadn't got after last week's results and the week before that and the week before that and the week before that. But they're at the cheapest they can be at the moment because they're crap. So they will only improve, and that's my team there, my Liverpool team. Now remember, you can follow the Wakey Academy by looking up here and adding to my followers and follow the actual gallery. You can also go onto Wakey on Discord, and you can go to Twitter also and follow the journey on there. And if you are following the gallery, then you'll see my squads here. We've got the Liverpool squad, which I've added quite a few players now. I think there's 13 in total. Still want a couple more yet, just to make sure. But yeah, there's quite a few on there now. But also you'll see my Celtic squad as well, which I went with, and we've also got quite a few players on there. I sold a couple just recently because I don't think they'll ever get in the team, or I won't play that much, so I'll get rid of a couple. And also we have the Road to Glory. We have the Road to Glory squad, which you can see here now. We're starting with £50 and we're starting to build this squad up and try and settle in and improve that squad as we go along to try and get a team that can compete somehow at SO5. Don't know how long that's going to take. It's just for me to do this. It's not really a Road to Glory series as such. It's just for me to keep an eye on and test myself on. Remember, if you wanted to join up, if you're new here and you want to join up, you'll see my link here. And this is on my Twitter account. You'll see the link. It's also on all my YouTube videos at the bottom. But you'll be able to sign up with my link here, and after buying 5 cards at auction, you get one free as well. So move on to our first player then, who's in the Premier League team, and this is Gavin Bazunu, who is from Southampton. I think it was Manchester City before this, and broke away and get to Southampton after a couple of loans. Now, he's not got great L5s, L15s, L40s even. However, he's only young, he's only 20 years old, and he's in the Southampton side, and he's played quite a lot of games, to be honest. I just want to see the price from here. We've got him at £89 for his floor price and £77 for his 3-day average. Now, he's only just come out, so you'll see there's not many that have been bought here. But, there is quite a few still. Let's have a look at the last week then, just to see if we can see a difference on his price. And there, yeah, he was up at 169 when he first came out, but now at like £89. So, for under 23 goalkeeper in the Premier League, that's not bad. And he seems to be playing each game. So look at his scores for a sec. I doubt they're fantastic, to be honest. But yeah, there's a lot of 40s and 50s according to that. You see, yeah, a big flow of 40s. But he's been in the team. I didn't know he'd been in this long. A couple of mistakes that he's made. And not great scores, yellows and reds there, as you can see. But I think with his age, he's only going to get better. And like you say, he's in the Southampton team at the moment. Whether he's there because someone's injured or not, I'm not 100% sure. But if they go down, if Southampton do go down for any reason, then you've got a keeper that's in the Championship. And I think could be quite a good card to hold there. And so we see Southampton at the bottom of the league, 15 points from 21 games. To me, it looks like they're going down. But so this is sort of like building for next season in one way by having Bazunu in that squad for when they hit the Championship. But if not, if he plays really well and Southampton pick up the way they're going at the moment, then he could be a good goalkeeper in the Premier League itself. Just looking on top minutes played there, he's up there in second place. This is after 15 games. So second place for the time spent. So he's been in there all season really, hasn't he? I'll have a look at Sofa score then, and we'll see he's 20 years old, 1.89, that's about 6'2"-ish. He's looking at his season heat map then, you see he does come out slightly, does sweep a little bit, and it says his strengths are running out, so he does run out quite a bit according to that. But 21 games, 21 started, 90 minutes per game as expected if he's a goalkeeper. Let's look at goals against him then. Where's that one? Defending only one clean sheet then in them games. But he's probably quite a busy goalkeeper, I think, so he could score quite highly in future games, I think. Now, no transfer news around him at the moment because obviously he's just made his move, but he has won a Premier League Save of the Month. Then you can see it on there, and November, December Save of the Month. Yeah, so he's got that for that game. I don't know if any of you have seen it or not. I haven't myself. But we also have a look at his Wikipedia then, and you'll see he was born in Dublin, Ireland. I presume I thought he'd be from somewhere else, but he's actually from Ireland. 6'2", as we say, yeah. Currently at Southampton. Started at Shamrock Rovers for his youth career and got into the first team. Played 4 games before Man City snapped him up. Then went on loan to Rochdale, which is just down the road from them. And then, for some reason, went to Portsmouth. And from the Portsmouth bit, obviously Southampton had their scouts down there, and they picked him up and he's played 21 games for them now. It might be even more than that, because it's, no, I think it is 21, bang on, because that's how many games they played this season. He's also had, played for the under-17s, the under-21s, and the Republic of Ireland national team. According to that, he played 13 games. It might be even more than that now. And he's only, 20 years old. So that's my goalkeeper for the Premier League, Gavin Bazunu from Southampton. And so we switch to our defender then, and I've gone for Pedro Porro, who is at Tottenham Hotspur. A lot of you will know him from Sporting. He's only just moved to Tottenham. I think he's been there for 1 game, which he was substitute for. But, when you look at his last 5 here, this is whilst he was playing for Sporting, so it's going to be higher than what it will be at Tottenham, I would have thought. Bit of a harder league, and we don't even know if he's got his position yet. But he's 23 years old. He's got another year of him yet, 18 months near enough. At this sort of age group, 23, so good utility still. He's £36. That's his floor price, and his in his last 3-day average as well, £36. Now, not many of these about, to be honest, but you can still get the Sporting one, obviously. I don't know if they've got a Tottenham one yet, have they? No, they haven't got a Tottenham shirt one yet. So it's just the Sporting shirt, and I think this guy's going to be a real star. I think he was fantastic at Sporting, and then he went off to Boyle for a bit. But looking at his prices, then up there, it said £36, but you can see at one time he was up at £130. Now that was over the last year. If you look at them all, it might be even higher than that, is it? Let's have a look. Is there any higher? Yeah, there's one there at like 170. So, but we're all the way down now at this £30 to £40 mark. And for that price, playing at Tottenham, I think he will get in, It looks like Emerson Royal might be moving to centre-back, and it gives a chance for Porro to come in, but we'll have a look at that in a moment. Let's have a look at his SL5 scores then. And of course, this is all going to be from Sporting, not exactly from Tottenham, because he's not been there long enough. But we'll have a look at his overall. And we'll see here a lot of greens up here then, up in the 80s and 90s. So he either gets a middle sort of score or a high score. And I'm sure Porro was taking a few penalties when he was at Sporting. Obviously, he won't be getting that at Tottenham at the moment with Harry Kane about. But some good scores coming in from him. Now, he won't be on any of these high sort of listings at Tottenham, but if you look at their formation at the moment, I think Emerson's going to be moving up here where Romero is at the moment there. And I think Porro's going to be playing in here as a sort of right wing back. I don't think he'll play every single game, but he might just break through and get his chance, and we'll see where he goes from there. Now, Pedro Porro, let's have a little look at him. Again, remember these are old scores from his old club. But you can see he was up and down this right wing quite a lot. Maybe not as much as you expect, getting forward wise. But this is where he played five games, started 4. There's only assists now. Yeah, 1 assist. And that was it really. So nothing we can really go off yet because he's now at Tottenham, so it's a completely different look at the way he plays for them. News about Porro then, it's talking about Emerson Royal getting his new role, which might leave Pedro Porro to come in at that right back that we were just talking about. They all think he's a really decent player. We'll see what happens with him. Now then, looking at his Wikipedia, you'll see here he is 23 years old, 5'8". They've got him as a right winger come right back, but he's more of a sort of wing back really, isn't he? He's still on loan from Sporting. So he's only on loan at Tottenham, so he could go back to Sporting next season and be fantastic again if he doesn't make it at Spurs. But he started out at Peralta, as you'll see here. Where was he born? He was actually Spanish, isn't he? Yeah, born in Den Benito in Spain. Played at Peralta, then Girona, then went to Man City. Never played a first game for them. Went on loan at Valladolid and Sporting. Did really well at Sporting and stayed there. They got his transfer through, and now he's on loan at Spurs. But he's also played under 21s for Spain, and he's actually played the national side. He's played 1 game according to that. But of course, you'll see down here again, national team caps and goals correct as of 28th of March 2021. So he's probably played a lot more than that now. It's way out of date, these things now. as a defender that I'll be starting then would be Pedro Porro for £36 from Tottenham Hotspur, on loan at Tottenham. Now looking at the other players I've added to this shortlist, and I forgot to do the goalkeeper, so I'll come back to that in a second, but this is the other shortlist that was getting in there. Sven Botman I think is fantastic. £59 though, might be a bit too much compared to 36 for Porro. Mike Guéhi's in there, and I like Nathan Ferguson as well down here. Not played any games, but I really do like him. And Van Heck. There's quite a lot on there, reaching from £3 all the way up to £59. So it's basically take your pick on who you want on there. Go and have a look at them all. We'll also, this watch list will be on my Sorare Data, so just go down to watch list and click on it, and you'll find this. It'll be under England under 23s at Wakey Academy. Let's just go back to the goalkeepers for a second, because I didn't show you them. The other couple that were on there. And yeah, so we went for Bazunu, but there's also a cheaper one there, Mark Travers, who's at, was it Bournemouth, I think Travers is at? And he's £16, and it goes all the way up to Meslier, the only one that's really playing, £172. I thought it was too much, so that's why I went for Bazunu. And we move on to my first midfielder then, who's going to be Fabio Vieira at Arsenal. Now, he hasn't had much of a chance at Arsenal, but we'll come to that in a moment. Then let's look at his last 5 of 25. Last 15, 37, but his last 40 of 49, which also includes his last club, obviously, where he's getting a bit more game time. But at the moment, they're not quite getting into his side, and that's no wonder because Arsenal are flying at the moment. But look at this price, £19 his 3-day average, and £21, so it's just gone up for his floor price. £21, that's absolutely incredible. And I'm going to show you what he was a few months back then. And we're going back, here, this is like February last year, is it? £480. For the Porto guy, £480. Just let that sink in, because he went down and down and down and down and down. Obviously, Sorare crashed a little bit price wise, but he's now down at £21 for Arsenal. It's just an incredible value. I want to have a look at his scores that he's been getting. Then I don't know if I just said Sporting, but he's actually from Porto. But looking at his scores that he's got, you can see here at Arsenal, he's just on the bench in the game. But when he is pulled onto the team, he's in 67, 70s and that. So he's well capable of it, but he's up against the likes of Odegaard and Saka and that, so the chance is he's going to have to bide his time for a little bit longer. But look at this when he's playing at Porto, 100, 100, 100, 100, 70s and 80s. Really good player who hasn't quite made that grade just yet at this level, but I think he will. We'll go down here, look where he was before. If he can sort of get into his team, this is the performances he can be providing. Fantastic, hundreds everywhere. 3 assists there. Real good man. He sort of plays on the left, but I like him as a number 10 as well. Just in behind that front man, just as like an attacking number 8 as such. But Vieira, well underrated at that price for the moment. Now, he's not going to feature in a lot of these charts, as you can imagine, because he hasn't played a lot of time, but he's up against Martinelli, Saka, Xhaka, Odegaard, a lot of good players. Even Jorginho's been brought in now as well, but he might get that chance. He might just get that chance. Let's have a look at the free kicks, and he has taken 1 free kick, and he's taken a couple of corners, and he's taken 12. So yeah, could be on free kicks if he breaks into the team, but it's unlikely at this moment in time that he will do that. Now looking at his SOFA score then, again there's not a lot of information on this. He's 22 years old. He's about 5'7", 5'8". He's played 11 games this season for Arsenal in the Premier League, so 11 games, started only 1 of them, has got 1 goal, has got 1 assist, so I think he's done not too bad, but we haven't seen the best from this lad yet. Let's go on to any news about him then, and there's not a lot in here, no transfer news, because obviously he's just moved to them. There's not a lot about him whatsoever. He really does need to buzz and get into this team straight away now. Now, they've got him down as attacking midfielder, 5'7". Started at Porto in his youth career. He was actually born in Santa Maria de Ferreira in Portugal, and he went on loan to Padronese when he first started. Then he went into Porto B, broke into the B team, did quite well, and then got into the first team before eventually moving on to Arsenal. But he has played at every level of under 18s, 19s, 20s, 21s at Portugal. 23 times and 14 goals. That's not bad for him with 21s though, is it? And he's also broken into the national team, I believe, now. So that's my first midfielder, Fabio Vieira from Arsenal. Okay, so moving on to my extra player, which is going to be a midfielder again. So I'm going for Amadou Onana, who's at Everton. Now he's only 21 years old, so utility till 2026. This guy's £40. That's his floor price and his last 3-day average, so £40 then. Last 5 was 65, played 80% of the games. That's pretty decent. And the last 40 they had 48. And that's got his positions as left midfield. He's more central midfielder, sort of like a defensive holding player, more than like a number 8. So I think it's more your number 6, holding in there and spreading the ball around a little bit. Good tackler this guy is. And looking at his last 6 months' prices, he's pretty much the same as he's always been. £40 there, and over here £48 when he was at Lille. I don't know what the overall. What was his highest price then? It's had a few peaks and troughs here, but you can see up here at like £110. So it hasn't been a massive player. Not that he's won the kids or anything, but you know, £100 for him at one time is decent, I think. Let's look at his scores then, and we'll have a look over his all-time scores. So this will include quite a few games from his other clubs as well. But you'll see he's playing for Everton, who are sort of like near the bottom of the league. All sorts of trouble going on there at the moment. He's got him down as playing that centre midfield role. He gets 90 minutes most of the time. A couple of times there where he didn't play, but then we were international games, and then that one at Brighton where he got hammered, so luckily he didn't play in that. But, you know, if you go down here, you see him at CDM as well. He's getting a lot of game time for Everton. Now, again, looking up here, he is capable of hitting the hundreds, well, the 90s at least then. A couple of 90s up there, a few 60s and 70s, but again, he's only young, so he's still learning. He should get up there quite well. His last 15 games, and you'll see here that he's got top 5 averages. He's in the top list, he's 4th there, and he's 3rd for the all-round averages. Just go down a few more of these and see if he's in any of these at all then. Doesn't look like, well, here we have net decisives, he's got 2, so they've had an awful season. They're down in 18th, as you can see here, 21 games, 18 points. Just not cutting it. I don't think he takes any free kicks or anything, so you know, that's against him a little bit, but defensive midfield, he picks his points up from the tackles, I'm guessing, and interceptions. Now on SofaScore then, you see up here, he plays all over the pitch, doesn't he? And he sort of tends to go more to the left than anywhere else. But how old is he? He's 21 years old, 195, that's quite tall. Does play as a shirt number 8, but he's played 19 games this season, 17 starts, 78 minutes per game, has been one team of the week and got 1 goal this season. Also 1 assist, and interceptions 1, tackles 2.6. So if you want to delve deeper into that, then go and do so. But overall, he's not been too bad, has he? Some good scores here, some good average scores coming from SofaScore there. Now, I don't think, again, there's no transfer news in here, but it's saying Newcastle were, oh, this is 1 day ago. It's just a day ago. Newcastle were linked to signing Onana during the summer. It was reportedly a target in January, but they didn't get him. So that's quite surprising then. Maybe in the summer he might move, which, you know, Newcastle with all the millions that they've got at the moment could be putting together a strong team, as you know they already are. So Onana's been sort of earmarked by them, but he's not going yet. He's still got like until the summer with him. So he could do really well for Everton. They've just picked up again, haven't they? Going on a few decent runs. They've got Liverpool coming up soon, haven't they? So we'll see how he gets on against them. Looking at his Wikipedia then, let's have a decent look at this. He was born in Senegal, and I think he's adopted Belgium, isn't he? But he's 21, born in Senegal, 6'4", that's pretty high, pretty tall for a defensive midfielder then. Started at Anderlecht his youth career, then Bruxelles, Zulte Waregem and Hoffenheim. And then Hoffenheim's where he sort of got noticed and picked up by Hamburg, and then went to Lille and played most of his games at Lille, 32 of them, and then went to Everton where he's played 19 games and 1 goal. As you see, adopted Belgian player here. He's under 17s, 18s, 19s, 21s, and even the first team, the national side as well. So Onana's starting to make a bit of a name for himself, and let's hope Everton can turn this around now in the league and see how good this guy really is. So that's my 4th player, Amadou Onana from Everton. And if we have a look at the watch list, and again you'll see prices here from high to low, then it goes from £117 all the way down to £8. There's quite a few different ones you can choose in there. Casiedo's due to move any time, but didn't move this window. Morgan Gibbs-White is proven to be pretty decent as well. We've got Cole Palmer at Man City. Hasn't broken into the side yet, but getting a few games in the cups and stuff, so could be okay. Billy Gilmore and Mikkel Damsgaard, who I think is going to be a superstar in the future. But not getting a lot of game time there at Brentford, I believe it is. And so we move to the forwards then, and we are looking at Dango Ouattara who's under 23. He's only 20 years old, so under 23 until 2026. Currently playing at Bournemouth then, in the Premier League obviously. And you can see his last scores, 61, 59, 53, but a lot of these he hasn't really done whilst playing at his current club. Now, he's £43 floor price, £43 as his 3-day average as well. And you'll see he's got forward cards, and he's got 243 forward cards and 542 midfielder cards. Now, I think he's down as a forward here at Bournemouth, but when he was playing at Lorient, he was down as a midfielder, I believe. I might have that the wrong way, but I think that's how it was. So you see, 43 quid, I mean, that's quite expensive, but for a Premier League striker who's under 23, I don't think that's too bad. 20 years old. Got to prove himself though, because Bournemouth not doing that well at this moment then. But you'll see his prices here, and this is a bit of a shock to me because I didn't realise how high he was before. You see there, he's down at the 40 odd quid, 40 to 50 quid. But he's been up as high as £240 when at Lorient. And when he got that move, I remember it was, he moved to Bournemouth and everyone was a little bit shocked by that. So, we'll see how he gets on. I don't think he's played that many games for them yet. Let's have a look at his scores then. And again, we'll have a look at all his scores because it shows when he's at Lorient. And he's seen breaking through there, and he's hitting these. I think this is when his price went up 70s to 100s there. And his price went quite quick, didn't it? It went high. He's only played 2 games at the moment then for Bournemouth. One against Brighton, where he played the full 90, and one against Forest, where he also played the full 90, which is quite interesting. He would have been put straight in. He's hit a 66 and a 45, so good scores in his first run-outs. Before that, when he was at Lorient, he was playing there as a left and a right winger, right midfield, left midfield. Also played as a striker, left attacking midfield. So he plays everywhere. Good utility for him. But look at this when he had that good spell there. 70s to 100s all the way. So he looked pretty decent, and that's why I think there's a big price tag on his head. He's come here and hasn't played that many games as of yet. Now, due to his time in the team, he hasn't been taking free kicks, hasn't been doing sort of anything like that. No, we don't really know if he's going to be taking free kicks, penalties or whatever, because he hasn't really played enough time. Now, I've had to show you the league standings on a different app, so I've gone to, what is this, I can't remember which one this is, Flash Scores. So I've gone to Flash Scores just to show the league and see where Bournemouth are in that table. You see they're struggling now, down in 19th position. Don't like getting out at that moment, real bad form as well. So they're going to be struggling all season. So you'll see on here then it's showing that he's played them 2 games for Bournemouth, and he has started both games, played 90 minutes, no goals, whether it's passing, 1 assist for his passing. So 2 games, 1 assist, that ain't bad, I guess. Not a lot of information on him again then. He's got a weakness as his passing from midfield, and again, there's not much information here from just saying 2 games, but he has been playing out on the right wing. He's 20 years old, he's 177 centimetres, what's that, 5'8"-ish, 5'9". So yeah, not a lot to go off there. Now, looking on his news then, and it says Jordan Zamora is excited by the new arrival. Now, he's a Burkina Faso international, but as I say, he's still going to make his name for himself here in the Premier League, and he was sought after before he went to Bournemouth. So let's just have a look at his Wikipedia then. You'll see on here, as we said, Burkina Faso is where he was born. 5'10", he's actually 5'10" then. He's a forward at Bournemouth. Started his career at Majestic FC, then went on to Lorient B team, got 1 goal in 5 games, and moved on to Lorient's first team where he hit 7 in 43. And now he's moved on to Bournemouth in the Premier League, so it's quite a big jump, I think, from like a Lorient team. He's only played 40 games, so 1 season for Lorient before coming into the Premier League. I mean, that's a big jump, to be honest. So it'd be good to see how he does and where he finishes. But this is who we've gone for then. Dango Furtado, who plays for Bournemouth in the Premier League. And let's have a look at the rest of the watch list and the other forwards that we're looking at. There's only 4 in total. One of them being Darwin Núñez, but the prices up here quite high. We've got Furtado, who's 43. We also had John Duran, who's come from the MLS. Decent performances out there, you can say, for the MLS, but again, a big step into the Premier League. And we've also got Brendan Aronson, who I don't think is really a forward, but they've got him down as one. So some of his cards might be midfield, some as a forward, but he's only £15. I think that's a really good bargain to have a look at him. Now, he's the Leeds guy. He's played a few games there. You know him from the MLS, but he's not really, and also from Salzburg, sorry, but he's not really kicked on so much here at Leeds. So that was my whole scouting from the Premier League, and you can see it here. As I said earlier, you can go to the England U23 Wakey Academy on Sorare, look at watch lists, and then come down to this, because it will be on there. I'll make that available after this video, and there'll be a link in the description below as well. And you'll see, we even had Phil Foden in there at midfield, but that's some good players, but 173 was the highest price for the goalkeeper, all the way down to, I think it was £2, was it? Yeah, £2 for Nathan Ferguson. But go and have a look at them all. Obviously, don't just go and buy them, go and do your own scouting as well and check out how good they are or how crap they are. But, you know, it doesn't just go for limited, you can also go and have a look at the rares and the super rares, etc. Because there's still going to be good prices on there as well, I think. But that's my team. So let's have a look at the team, and this is my England team from the Premier League, and we've got Gavin Bazunu of Southampton in goal. We've got Pedro Porro, currently at Tottenham Hotspur as a right wing back. We've got Fabio Vieira, who's got to take that chance and get into that Arsenal side, which is going to be a hard job. We've got Amadou Onana as my second midfielder, more defensive holding role. And then we have, sorry, he's from Everton, and we've got Dango Huitaro, who is over at Bournemouth then, as a sort of winger come right forward. So that's my 5. If you can come up with a better team, then look below. And obviously, it's not best players, as I've said. It's based on value for money, and if I think they're going to make it eventually, because Porro and Vieira are going to be massive, I think. And that's my team there. Say below the comments below what you think, or who you think you should have there instead. Go have a look at the watch list. And remember, if you're new to the channel, as I've said before, make sure you hit the subscribe, hit that like, because it helps the channel to get seen. When you type Sorare into the YouTube, then it helps on that to get seen at the top. And because a lot of people don't see the video because it's not being shown at the top because we've not enough likes, so we need to get that done. And if you're new, like I say, come and sign up with the link which you'll find below. It's also on my Twitter account, and as soon as you bought 5 cards at auction, you get them free. And obviously, I'm here for DMing if you need any advice on anything. So, hope you enjoyed that video, and we'll move on to the next one soon. And that McBride one is coming up again soon, looking at Wonder Kids from all around the world with Mark McBride, aka McBride Ace. So, thank you very much, and we'll see you soon.